Hello everyone, Norma Woodcock speaking to you from Perth in Western Australia. I'd like to speak into the Most Holy Trinity Year C. The theme, Tune In, John 16 verses 12 to 15. Trinity Sunday is about God's personal involvement with us as Father, as Son and Brother, as Spirit and Life. Descartes, the philosopher, spoke of the difference between the God of philosophers, God as studied and thought about intellectually, and the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, God as experienced in everyday life. But we have to deepen our experiences. I'd like to read this lovely little story, Being Tuned In. One day a farmer went into the city. As he was walking down a busy street, he suddenly stopped and said to a friend who was with him, "I can hear a cricket." His friend was amazed and asked, "How could you hear a cricket in the midst of all this noise?" "Because my ears are attuned to his sound," the farmer replied. Then he listened even more intently, following the sound, found the cricket perched on a window ledge. His friend couldn't get over this, but the farmer showed no surprise. Instead, he took a few coins out of his pocket and threw them on the pavement. On hearing the jingle of the coins, the passers-by stopped in their tracks. "You see what I mean?" said the farmer. "None of those people could hear the sound of the cricket, but all of them could hear the sound of the money. People hear what their ears are attuned to hear and are deaf to all the rest." Being tuned in to God. I just want to share a little bit how when I first had my conversion 40 years ago, I remember saying to Jesus, asking for money. And I felt deep inside, this is what I felt, no words, but just this impression. If I gave you money, Norma, I would lose you. And I remember saying to myself and to God, no. Now I look back 40 years later, and by the way, God's looked after me and we are blessed. But if I look back now, He would have made sure way back then that I didn't have money because my ears were attuned to the jingling of the coins. My security was based on my money. And I want to say to you, sometimes your security is based on your relationships, sometimes it's based on good health, and sometimes it is based on financial success and promotion and all that the world wants to offer. But can I tell you right now that there has been a process that God has done in me to tune me into Him. And that has come from deep prayer. And I would like to just say a little word about deep prayer, because this acclimatizes us, tunes us into the God who wants to be involved in the experiences of our everyday life. And there is where peace comes from. If we can know that He is with us no matter what happens, we cannot be tipped up by the ups and downs of life. But it begins, I believe, in a seeking of Him, in a prayerful journey, in a wanting Him to be the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, the God as experienced in my everyday life, in your everyday life. And so the challenge out of this scripture today is, if you are not tuned in to Him, find the means to tune in regularly, and you will find the little cricket on the window ledge, as the story says, God's presence in the simplest and most wonderful of things. I got to the point where I said to God, "Don't give me money because I don't want to lose you." And how did that happen? Deep prayer had a lot to do with it. Sacrament had a lot to do with it. The healing power of the church that I am blessed to be in had a lot to do with it. But I am here to tell you right now that God will tune you into Him if you will ask Him and give Him the time. God bless. Look forward to seeing you again next week.